look gorgeous in person, but for TV, I think I'd recommend maybe the Korean stones because they're just more grainy. I'm going to pass through with my bottle of Lucid.
Also,
if Lucid is watching, please send us free bottles and we will continue to advertise.
Also, choose bowls that you like. I like the design on the top of these.
Oh yeah, those are brilliant. I love them.
Alright, I have drank some fluid, so I need to go and evacuate.
Don't put trash on the go table.
Where was that trash from?
Oh, did I put that on the good one?
No, just on the table.
Okay.
Oh.
So am I playing black or white, Alex?
You should be playing white, probably.
Alex, there's no chair over here. Do I sit on the floor?
So
That'll work
viewers,
perfectly.
Alex and I play every now and then at our Go Club. So what do you think? Should we play a handicap game?
Whatever you want
Should
to
we
do.
play an even game?
You're letting the chat decide?
Yeah, let the chat decide. What
I
you
think
guys
the chat
wanna do.
decide is good. I think it's worth mentioning, though, that you guys may have never played a handicap game on this stream.
Oh, well, we've never played on this stream at all.
Then a handicap
he's
game,
never played a handicap game, period, on this stream.
It might be interesting, just, because... Or maybe not. It depends on what you guys want, but that's an option for sure.
Yeah, so, chatters, what are the ranks? I'm like 3 or 4 down, depends on the probably 3 down.
Mr. Phi Box Shake says, "Hi, Matt. I believe this is possibly the person I know as Steve or Stevie, depending on how old I am at the time. Nice to see you here, Phi Box Shake. Scott 25Q, I believe." David 9P, yes, that's fairly accurate
So
by
false.
comparison's
So
sake.
false.
Yeah, 4 down AGA is probably feeling pretty accurate.
No. Well, so my AGA rank is not 4 down. I haven't played in the tournament in a while.
Okay.
My Thai gym rank these days is 6 or 7 down.
6 or 7 down on Thai Gym.
So like I said, 3 down, approaching 4 down on good days.
Scott 25Q I think is a bit harsh. I think he's actually SDK. As to what his actual level, if I had to guess, I'd say he's probably around 6 to 4Q. It's hard to be sure since I've been out of it for so long, and when I was in it, it was in a limited environment, which means I was only playing against people within the small circle of 100 people. So, numbers stop making sense. I started saying SDK versus DDK being a better separator than, 5Q versus 6Q. It's hard to tell. But just SDK versus DDK is close enough. Let's see some white power plays.
Oh man, that's a lot of
Have you been
pressure.
spreading lies about my rank
So,
while I'm in the bathroom?
Yes.
So it's up. So it looks like we have 1 vote for a handicap game.
I'm a favor of it. Go boards aren't beautiful till they get a few thousand marks on them. Yes, indeed. But if those marks are from dropping them onto the floor or banging them into the table, it's annoying to the owner of the board.
How are we doing
But yes, I suppose that counts
So we have
as well.
1 vote for handicap and 0 other votes. So should we close voting?
Small circle of 100
Alright,
people
alright.
was roughly $100 per month on Youngasang Dojang with In Xiang Huang, which is 8 dan on European Go Federation. He's the teacher. And it's absolutely beautiful, and if you can afford about $100 a month or so, it's totally worth it. You not only get access to the training and the individual attention of the 8 dan, but also you get access to all of the previous lectures. There's hundreds and hundreds of lectures, and all of them are beyond glorious. So,
Okay, so
go ahead, Alex.
60 seconds. 60 seconds. You guys have 60 seconds to decide handicap game or even game, okay?
And we have 1 vote for each so far.
1 vote for each so far.
And if we do a handicap game, do you want to do like high handicap or low handicap?
Whatever you want.
Well, if you're 40Q, that's like a
I get like
90
20,000
stone handicap.
And
Even.
So it's 2 for even, 1 for handicap.
I see. Even.
Did they?
Introvert.
Or no, or was it just because Ballinator says even and Traffic says even?
Yeah,
The same color though.
That's true.
Small circle of 100 people.
And Travis, you're not getting away with voting twice.
So Ballinord are very quick. What that was with
traffic,
100
yeah.
people. You have in your level, you have probably 5 people. You do round robin tournaments against those 5 people every month, and at the end of every month, the top player or 2 players go up, the bottom 2 players go down, just like in Korean professional circles. And there's a total of, I think in ours we had 4 or 5 different groups, and each group would have 5 players. It was a really, really interesting and great way to play because, you know, if you truly made it and stayed in the higher level, you would earn that higher level. I definitely recommend that for local Go clubs as well. That level is really great. But aside from that, it's just really great to be able to play against people taking the game seriously and giving sufficient time, which generally means no less than 10 seconds per move. If you've moved in less than 10 seconds, you've made a mistake.
Oh, dang, then I've already made 2 mistakes.
Well, in the opening and Joseki, it's less important. I did some times where I would spend 20 seconds considering my move in the Joseki, and I would get feedback on that, like, why are you spending so much time for known moves? So if it's an obvious and Joseki move, feel free to play with 0-second moves. But once you're outside of book, as they say in the chess world, you should be spending at least 20 seconds per move. Handicap random color Go played only with non-dominant hands is the vote. Are you guys ready for such a thing? That's kind of like what me and Alex play. Sometimes we would switch which color we're playing every 10 moves. And I think we only made it about 3 or 4 sets in. I only play 1 minute Byoyomi online. 3/4 coward. Handicap random color Go play a while. That would be fun to do. And again. So is my cousin Steve online with us right now? Is that a person who is
I'm flooding up
here?
the thinking process now. I was trying to think of, oh no, David wouldn't like that move.
No, don't do that. I would say my opening is my weakest part of my game.
Because your reading is so strong.
Your
Not as a result of your reading being so strong, but
It is
you get
relatively.
you get very
but
far with your reading.
but
Yeah, 30 seconds Byoyomi can be quite difficult. At some points you
That's
lose.
a jealous move.
So they have that 3x30 second, which helps a
And
little
there's nothing
bit,
to be
but
jealous of yet,
not as
so-
much as the 1 minute Byoyomi. If you haven't tried it, check out the Canadian style and do 5 minutes for 15 moves. That gives you a total of 20 seconds per move, which is a good pace. That's Canadian 5 minutes per 15. That's what we did in Youngsang, American Youngsang, and it was glorious.
This was glorious.
It was beyond glorious, dude. You have no idea.
Glorious. Okay, so if that happens, the problem is, but that works for him. That's fine. Yes, I don't know.
If I still worked the same shift that I worked before, I would definitely still be in the American Youngsang. I think it was like 7 or 8 p.m. until about 1 a.m. was Eastern Standard Time, our schedule. And that was about 4 days a week. And I absolutely loved it. Well, I started working 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., which kind of rode off that late night sort of schedule. But while it was working really well. Yeah, Fisher's an option in OGS, definitely. I've not played Foxy. Have you guys played on Foxy?
I don't
A
think
little
so.
bit. So recently I had a really bad experience. I don't really play online games. So I decided to play a game in Foxy, and what happened was I was winning and my opponent refused at the very this is at the very end. Refused counting. I used up all 3 of my passes, and we kept playing moves inside of our territory. So this had happened before, and I was able to call an admin. But at this point, there were no admins online, and I can't speak and I can't type in Chinese, and a lot of the features in the client are still in Chinese, even though some of them are translated to English for people who speak English. And so what I had to do was resign the game, and I was so frustrated by that experience.
Just leave the game and then call an admin later.
The only way to do it is to send them a message, and the problem is I can't actually
Send a message.
send a message.
Do I have a phone anywhere near you, David?
No.
Oh, good.
Where did your phone? Did it go in the crack?
Is this my
That's
phone?
mine.
You can call it if you want.
That one's mine.
It's your turn,
Call
Alex.
it with the Facebook phone.
Oh, I don't actually. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't actually have your number, dude.
Till every last piece of territory, man. Yeah, don't ever let the trolls have it till you filled in every last piece of territory. That's how I won a game with 360-some points. And I just kept filling it.
And
What?
in the
Oh,
pocket.
I'm sitting on it.
Oh, damn!
How about that? I'm sitting on my
Oh,
freaking...
Brutal.
Thank you, sir. That's brilliant. I just got a message that says you are ignoring your girlfriend and friends. Fail. We are watching you play. Address us.
Oh, snap.
Oh, hi, guys. There's a message here that says, I'm black, not poor. What?
the hell is...
Oh, that's May 26th. That's a long time ago. It had nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. I'll send that to the person who says I said fail. Well, I mean, if you guys are watching, you should speak up and stuff, right? I have not received any messages from them, so I can only assume.
A really crappy part of me wants to Tanuki from this because I don't have any idea about how to follow up.
So, opening question for White. Is 015 a good move?
015. Help me. Where are the coordinates?
KLMN. Wait, KLMNO. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
For who?
Probably for White.
Kaviyama said it isn't, and Ballinator says I would like M15 more.
Like black attaching to white?
No, this one for White. Or maybe, yeah, this one for White.
N15, sorry, N15 says instead of 015.
M15?
N.
N, like this then.
Oh. I mean, I thought about playing there, but I can't tell you whether it's good or not. I'm sorry. As I was saying before, the opening is the worst part of my game. But honestly, this sort of move, there's a great proverb that if you and your opponent's stones are next to each other jumping, you should not allow yourself to get covered like this. Because it makes it really easy for white to settle his stone with a move like this. This probing move is pretty strong. But I felt like pincering, and because I figured I could run out, and if I run out, maybe I'll reduce some of the black stuff at the top, so... And black invades. Sure. So I've been reading this book of old Chinese Go ideas, and they have this move there, and I want to see.
No, a lot of people play the attaching on top.
Oh, hi guys.
I think this works a little bit better for you now.
New
because
Goy
you're
playing
on the
is my dear friend David, who
And
is
you have
like
this right
9
here,
dan
too.
professional, not really, but basically.
Yeah, it's because of this stone here. It's like there's a whole like set of, it's like 2 chapters that are just like this situation attached on top. So, it's kind of cool. But I don't know if this is a good time to do it. I just want to play it. Why not? Yeah, and that was my thought too, EU Noob, because I have my 4/4 here, and I felt why not extend instead. So
People on my rank says Entrovix play this attachment, but they lose by 150.
yeah, well,
To you?
but Alex has invented a new move, and so we will see how it works.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think this isn't completely.
I like it, I like it. As to whether it's new or not, that depends on the extension.
It's really amazing the difference in go style that you find when you look at like games from different periods in different countries. Like old Chinese games have nothing in are very, very different in their fuseki from the like modern games. It's like really striking actually. All captures.
Are you really sending me messages while you're right next to me?
I might have sent you a message while I'm right next to you.
It's your turn.
Yes, we have a new move.
So
New moves are very common in Go. The difficult thing is to prove it beyond, let's say, 15 moves that it remains a new and good move. But to have a new move itself, I mean, that's easy.
this is what White wanted. So maybe Black should have not given what White wanted and played something over here instead. Again, this isn't horrible.
No, that looks like a much better move, actually.
Another play, but this is kind of being too nice to White.
You heard it here first, people. Don't be nice. Don't be nice. Kindness is for suckers.
And you see why White is pretty okay with this, right?
Yeah, because I have to spend more moves to live in the corner.
And also because this stone, White doesn't really care that much if Black pulls it out or even plays down here because it's too small for this stage in the game.
Mm-hmm. Also, temporarily, depending on even my response, Black shape is really good because you get to, potentially, if you need to capture that stone. I mean, White shape is geek.
Black is flying around the board.
I'm sorry. I don't really play too many games, so I'm seeing this as just an opportunity to, I don't know. If these moves are super shitty, then I'm not playing super shitty moves on purpose, if that makes sense.
No, I think this is...
It's just that some of the weirdness might have gotten out of my system if I did happen to play more online games. That makes sense, hopefully.
No, this is fine. Again, this is Tanuki, your bold Tanukis. So this area is really big, right? And so White doesn't want Black to take all this. Normally, when Black plays the Kobayashi style...
Well, I'm a little bit more worried about this stone
What?
now, because I had a feeling that without this here and whatnot, like the anchor and stuff like that, and giving up the corners kind of, I don't know how I feel about that necessarily, but barring like what's over there, I feel like it's hard for White to necessarily kill that stone, depending on like, and I don't know if I'm worried about that depending on what happens with the rest of the board beforehand, right? Or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this stone may be hard to kill, it's true. This corner is big though, and but I like this move is fun, right? Black is coming over here, and it makes it a little hard for Black to do the normal approach at the top, because White's kind of denied his extension. So, anyways, I thought I'd try this and see what happens. Now Matt will be very excited to see this situation because it's a famous youngest thing one for black, kind of. And black actually even has lots of moves around that will make it even more fun.
That is a very interesting result because that's not one of the suggested moves.
It's not. So,
but
for black, it's
the way to prove that is like 40 moves deep. So I mean, like, not suggested, quote unquote, relies on you being able to actually prove it.
And the reason it's not suggested is because on an empty board, I think black, this is just good for black. And so white should approach here or here. But again, I don't like the fact I can't extend, and so I want to try some things.
Yeah, with the black stone there on the midline, it makes it really difficult. It's definitely not the same situation as we studied primarily within Youngsang.
Now I have to do some thinking because the framework that I was building has been interrupted.
I might even be tempted to play this as the middle board and just do a straight pincer.
And I think you should have just stuck maybe with the normal move. So, was it here or here? Two
There,
lines?
yeah.
Okay.
Guys, says
I wasn't just sure about like what would happen on
my
this
stomach
side.
hurts, so
And then,
I'm
I feel
out
about
to go read some
all the space
manga.
underneath
Don't
here.
let
Because
Scat
since you have
Maker
this
win.
here, right, it's hard for me to get anything decent out of that, I feel.
Sorry, I was listening partially to Matt. This move is really nice because you develop the top, and white doesn't really have space here. And if white plays through this variation normally, you get the really cool move that Matt knows, which is that instead of responding, black comes around now and pincers.
Yes.
And your pincer is very strong because of this.
Okay, and the reason why I don't have to worry about this is because I have support.
Because you have support, exactly. So white can cut through here like this, but instead of just giving up the corner like usual, black can play down like this because you have the stone to help you.
Yeah.
And so white ends up kind of, flowing without a base. And, white can play in here, but then this exchange isn't that great for white.
Yeah, this looks pretty good.
So, yeah, black's very happy with this situation. But my plan, though it didn't happen, was to extend fast like this.
Have a wonderful time, Irosama. I could not get their
this
attention,
seemed
but that's
like,
okay. I appreciate
See you,
your
Uru.
concern, and I will make sure that he does not win.
Oh yeah, I'm not allowed to win apparently.
And so this also, I think, was playable for white, right? Why not? So, again, this stone made it hard for me to find a good solution. Maybe there was a better one, but we need stronger players. So, anyways, black pincers, and then white has to decide.
Yeah, so pincering in advance, why not?
And I think I don't want to be fancy. So,
Beautiful. Urusama, I love you. Just forgot to let you know.
Do you really?
I mean, I guess. I mean, even though I called him just last week.
Urukama.
Sorry, 3 weeks ago, Urukama. So I played Taigen a couple times, and I found it very confusing because they didn't play anything I expected.
What was what? What was that?
Urukami?
I hope that stone wasn't anywhere near where it was going to be. Okay. Huh?
Help me with this.
Yes.
He wrote Urusama. I wrote Urukami asterisk. What does that mean?
Kami means God.
So Urusama, I should pronounce it Urukami?
No, he just wants you to call him.
I mean, I'll
God.
call him anything he wants.
You
Urukami.
shouldn't encourage.
I mean, I called him Uru something before.
Urukama.
Urukama? That doesn't sound right.
No, you did call him Urukama.
I'll call him Urukami. Because he is the master of the sacred art of Urugami.
I don't know what the hell.
I think he's saying origami.
It's
Yep.
too silly for me. Which is difficult to do, but yeah, there you go. It happened.
Scatmaker, why are you telling people not to encourage me? Says Udusama.
I don't know why I would ever do that. It's crazy to me too.
So.
So I have
That's too small
someone
then. Okay. So
that I kind of got into an internet
I'm
fight
going
with.
to go to the restroom. I'll be back.
Have fun.
the stream where everybody goes to the restroom.
Their name is Kitsune no Saimi.
Is this on the Go HC players thing?
No.
No.
So can I type in here? I can type in
What
here.
the hell happened?
So it is Kit
You're not gonna scare away. No,
Sume.
Matt.
No.
You shouldn't out a specific person.
No, this isn't a specific person. So this is a name. I'm about to send it here, which means something that I don't know. It probably references an anime. It's a standard American fellow who's chosen this name, and I'm wondering what this name references. I'm hitting enter now, but you'll probably receive it after the point at which I've hit now. Kitsune no Siemi. So if anyone here knows if that's from an anime or something, I would love to know what it is.
If anybody
just
knows
for
Sammy.
reference.
Oh man.
Hey, thanks for joining, Valinator. It was great to have you here. And hopefully you learned many things, or you made fun of many things, whichever is appropriate. And it was a wonderful time for all.
Yeah, thank you, Balinator.
Thanks for showing up. Thanks for following. Hope you tune in next week. I'll probably be here. I'd say there's a good chance that if we stream next week, I'll be here.
It's a good chance, yeah, absolutely.
It'd be weird if I wasn't here.
Sorry, it's difficult.
To deal with such a crappy mood.
No, I just want to do something different.
So black is playing black, and white is playing white.
Oh yeah, totally.
And whose move is it?
It's David's move.
Oh my god, there's so many wonderful opportunities. And as someone who doesn't know how to play Go, I'm sure there's even more. So that speaks to the quality, though, of the Six Brothers Budok stones, the glass ceramic mix versus solid glass, is that you can drop them many, many times and they don't seem to break.
So, I just want to see if it works, so forgive me.
I had the pleasure of playing against a guy who claimed that he used to be one don and showed up like at I can't do this. Showed up at Go Club a few weeks back. This was before your triumphant return, and he claimed to have been one done right before, but then he took a break, and I had this game against him, and I could have, and this probably comes back to the whole probably I should Tanuki less or something, but I absolutely, without a doubt, I could have sworn I was winning the entire game throughout most of the middle game. I made a reading mistake, and I knew it after I had played it, that it was a really bad reading mistake, and I spent the rest of the game trying to save one group of stones. It was like
That's no fun.
a 50 move sequence, and there's this guy there who's like, I don't know, 4Q or something. He walks over, he's like, oh, black's in really bad trouble here. I'm like, yeah, thanks. And because like at that point I had already spent 30, like the past 30 moves was me just trying to save my ass.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, and I knew I played some terrible end game because after that I was just like exhausted after saving this one group. He won by Komi.
Well,
I was like, it was so sad that I lost all my points trying to save this flipping group, you know? It's awful. This one?
so I don't really know if this is actually better for white than just playing the normal variation. So I
Well-
apologize, but I think it is.
You wanna do this one first?
So kitsune is the Japanese word for fox, and it's a fox spirit sort of thing. As to the rest of the word,
Don't people usually do things like Atari, and then I do and then they play up here or something?
Yep, but the thing is that I can play this guitar anytime.
Okay.
And maybe it'll be better for me later to descend directly and thread into.
I'm just curious about what sort of
connect.
sequences are more normal. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just here. This exchange is bad for me because it removes me the opportunity of this,
Okay.
and it doesn't really make any difference. So I think that maybe this stone then is good for me. I don't know. This can't be. Yoseki.
they also, the no seimi part seems to be part of a magical sort of thing, mystical sort of magic powers. I don't have a direct translation here, but yeah, so it's a magical fox wizard, I think, is who this person is. Well, I appreciate your looking into that, even though you just wrote doesn't ring a bell here. It's close enough.
I think if we compare it to the normal thing, this is better for white because white would play here. We say white plays here later, and black would just connect once, and white would lose, would have nothing. So, which means maybe black should have done something different, or maybe this is Joseki, and I just don't know.
So I don't know how to deal with that. I'm sure I'll pay with this dearly.
It looks about even to me. Says the guy who's pretending 8 more white stones are on the board.
Why are you pretending 8 more white stones are on the board?
Because I think black's ahead.
So white, that's a good analysis thing. Why do you think black's ahead?
Meaning I think it's good for black.
Mm-hmm. Why?
I wasn't paying attention to the rest of the conversation or whatever, just looking at it. I'm probably, stupid, but I like it for black. That was one thing in Youngsang which would come up and they'd be like, alright, so who does everybody like in this situation? Everyone would say B, W, B, 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 W, 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 W. And yeah, we most positions are good for both colors. It depends on what you see.
I don't know how to deal with this. So, I'm gonna play it anyways.
Nice.
And do you know which way white should play?
Are you asking me?
Here?
Yeah.
That's what I was getting as well. It's the wider side.
Push toward, and also push
Well,
towards your
towards
weakness.
push towards the wall.
Push towards
Not only towards
And
strength,
so the reason why
but
I don't know about
black has an extension here, but not a clean extension here.
yeah
But
exactly.
black does have the Aji here.
Yes.
So it's okay. But even with that, I still feel it's better to push towards the thickness.
But if black were over one more space, would that be
That one?
even-er?
So what does white do here? So if white connects like this, well, I guess it's the same. It's not too much of a difference. The only thing that matters is what if I play here, but it's more or less the same.
My daughter was watching you play. She
Because
slept.
if white goes down,
Says Entrovix.
then black can jump up like this, or just connect, and then it's like black got a free move, kind of.
Yeah.
Or but probably jump up is fine. But this way, there's. I don't know, but maybe this is okay too. So
If you just
But this
the question
seems,
about the health of the corner again, right? Maybe.
yeah, but
So maybe I don't want to provoke that.
Oh, I'm gonna play here though.
Regardless of the ladder situation.
Let you do whatever.
I mean, of the cut. Sorry.
Let your opponent do what he wants.
Oh, I can't read this fast. It's gone. Somebody whose name is in Korean has started following you on Twitch.
What the hell are you talking about?
Exactly. And I could not decipher it quickly enough
Oh, you're looking at the email.
to provide an update before it went away.
You're looking at the email. I see. I understand.
You can bring it up, back up. I can try to
You
translate.
sent me a unicorn. All right. I'd like to thank Chara God Chess is now following me on Twitch. Thank you very much. Namchin00 is now following me on Twitch. Thank you very much. Astari Tobril is now following me on Twitch, and the Korean guy.
The Korean guy,
is now
let me see
following
what I
on
can
Twitch.
do.
Thank you very much.
It is. Dear Lord, I've never seen this before. That is.
Don't know what to do.
Do I have my glasses? Okay, let's see. I need to go back and study further. I learned enough Hangul in order to translate In Xiang Huan, who was my teacher at the time. But I don't know two of the symbols within this name.
Can I see it?
Do you want, or should I translate it?
Well, if I can see it, I can say it.
Okay, let me...
If you can dream it, you can be it.
Okay, I went ahead and copied it.
Where is it? So it's Dun Kin E.
Dunkany?
Yeah.
Alright. Dunkany.
Kin E.
And let me go to the internets.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Where are you from in Korea?
Yeah, Duncan.
Mm-hmm. And why not just play Super Thick?
Dunkany.
What? Why not just play what?
I'm just thinking. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So we have in parentheses, Le Sibium. Hello, thank you so much. I'm trying to learn Hangul, but it's very difficult. It's easier to learn the alphabet than it is to learn the words within the alphabet, I've found, mainly because I don't know anyone who speaks it. But it's definitely been a lot of fun to learn the alphabet, at least. And the first character within the symbol for D, I did not know, so it threw me off completely.
Really? Oh.
Yes.
Hyundai.
I've never seen that. It's because I'm illiterate.
And all the things?
3 Dan AGA. Yes, 6 to 7
I did
Taigen.
not say I was student Dan NGA. I said that like I would if I were to guess I would guess I'm around the strength of a 3 Dan AGA or 3 or 4. My AGA ranking is not that high though. Again, I have not played in a tournament in a while.
The important thing to know is whatever your strength, David will defeat you.
That's not true.
That is absolutely
He'll
true.
take on all the pros.
Complete lie.
AlphaGo.
Felipe18 is now following you on Twitch.
Complete lie.
AlphaGo, that's some weak applesauce right there.
AlphaGo just plays random moves that don't make any sense.
AlphaGo might as well be Alpha Goat when David's playing it.
Around. Yeah. Around is close enough. That's probably his strength is plus or minus 3. Let's say 3 Dan AGA is a fair ranking. It doesn't matter if your comprehension for reading is that high. Anywhere that you are is good enough for us. We're pretty good at coming up with what is intended by various messages.
Are we though?
Yes? Well, I am.
What is?
Oh my
I
god.
can't even tell what's going on anymore.
So, my girlfriend and one of my friend peoples is apparently watching Blues Traveler perform locally.
I'm sorry to admit, I don't know who that is.
Blues
It's a 90s, early 2000s performer who was amazing. Sort of a large dude. He has a vest which contains approximately 32 different harmonicas, which he would use during his performance, and he was absolutely perfect.
Cool.
Oh, it's at the casino, and my lady person Kelly has won $200.
Cool.
Oh my god. Awesome. Get out now.
Escape while you can. They will find you.
The last time I was there, I went up like $150 and then I lost everything. I got a free beer out of
Consolation
it,
prize.
but no, we lost everything. It was fun. 6 to 7 Dan Thai Gem is like 5 Dan AGA. Yeah, it very well may be. It's hard to keep track of these because the numbers are quite variant. The only way to really know for sure is to play for like in a small setting with a people of a known level for an extended period of time. That way you can find out for sure what's going on. Without that, it's sort of a crapshoot, which is why I much prefer just the SDK, DDK, and Don level of performance, and then maybe professional if you're strong enough for that area. But until you're about 8 Dan or so, you're not really competing against professional players. But for the most part, yeah, SDK, DDK is a good enough separator. It encompasses all of the different group strengths and keeps it a little easier to, figure out whether or not you're going to have a fair enough game against someone. Game rates are super high online too.
But the problem with online play is that you have a lot of people who make new accounts and play online, and so, anyways, I don't know. So it means that you can get quite a few games with people with different strengths within the same unless I guess you only play people with stable ranks, in which case it's fine.
So you're talking about like sandbagging, or
no, not sandbagging, just like new accounts. For example, like 3 Dan Tai Gym, right? Like this is just like a mystery rank. What does it mean?
Because anybody can make a 3 Dan account.
Yeah, so.
But people make accounts just so that they can rank down, and then, just so they can rank up.
Mm-hmm.
And some people make accounts that are like actual rank, and they'll stop playing there for some reason because I guess they hit a wall or something.
So Entravex says he's played 300 games online, 2 or 3 live. I'm assuming that means primarily correspondence games.
No, almost certainly live games.
Live games.
Almost certainly.
Well,
live
2 or
games.
3 live.
Probably like in person, I would say.
When he says live, I think he means in person.
Versus online. Okay. That would make more sense. I
Yeah,
was going to
correspondence
suggest,
games.
it's definitely worth it to play
2 lifetimes ago.
like directly, 1-to-1-to-1 to second type moves in real life. Yeah, 2 to 3 live in real life. It's amazing to play in real life with real stones on a real board. It's absolutely wonderful. If you can find anyone nearby who you can bribe to play, or if there's a Go Club within 100 miles, I would recommend it. Just because it's so wonderful to play on a real board. Failing that, yes, computers and online are fine, but it's not quite the same. I love this game, and playing against someone real, even if it's only the same person forever, is totally worth it.
That's a totally rigorous quote, you noob. I have not heard that one said in that way before. I don't think that I've lost 1,000 games.
Oh yeah. Some people will say 50.
Yeah, I've heard
Some
50,
people say
I've heard
100.
100, I've never heard 1,000.
1,000
So
is
when I started
hardcore,
playing-
man.
Yeah.
When I
a lot
started
of
playing,
games.
I was starting against a 1 dan,
You have to
and
be-
I may have lost my first 1,000
to be-
games.
That 1,000 games is a lot.
You have to have a real.
It is a very lot. That's like 4 years.
That's really hard, also for like just a beginner. Like, you just learn the rules. Like, I feel like if I lost 1,000 games, I'd quit. Like, honestly.
Oh, you made a nice board with the glass decorative stones. Yes, those are wonderful. A little oddly shaped, which feeds into the wabi-sabi nature of the Japanese playstyle. They do.
Wait,
what did you
break
just
a bit. Wait.
The wabi-sabi with the Jap. Did you just say that they?
Did I just
the
give
way
it a
that
racist act of aggression?
The way that they play wabi, which you describe as a wabi-sabi, is analogous to how their stones work.
EU noob, are you like, what's your rank, dude?
Did I commit an act of aggression?
Maybe. It's possible.
No,
It's
no.
quite possible.
I mean, the wabi-sabi simply means that things, the impermanence nature of things, yes?
No.
No. Oh, shit. Everything I know is wrong.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Wait, which is not true?
Can't tell you that one.
Oh, crap. So EU4Knob says he's probably played more than 100 or 10,000 games. He's 4 to 5 done Taigem Foxy.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Which means you might be able to get a good game out of him,
Yeah, why not? Sometime we should play, dude. Yeah, I don't know. My experience has been that, like...
Kelly says, "Are you drunk, Law? I don't know."
He's not sober. Does that answer your question?
I definitely feel EU4Knob that like my biggest disadvantage when I was playing people like in Go clubs, I was in Korea for a little bit, was that they had played so many more games than me that were at the same level and stronger also, that like I had no idea how to read out those sort of situations. So that's a really cool asset you got. That's nice.
If I was better at reading, I could make a better judgment of what the hell I want to do here.
Tanuki here.
EU4Knob has
What?
added that he's played for more than 15 years.
If you Tanuki, I promise I will play in this area again, unless you play to cut my stones on the top, in which case I might not. I might respond. But other than that,
What
I'm
is the
going to-
top?
Oh, sorry, the bottom for the viewers. My mistake.
The top for the viewers.
Over here?
Over there. If you try to cut those, I probably would respond. But other than that, any Tanuki will be ignored. I will play
Oh,
locally.
I see. I understand.
So don't Tanuki.
I get it.
That would be a bad exchange, anyways.
Oh, hey, Urusama. Italian food didn't agree with something after all. Oh, no. It's no fun.
Too much cheese.
Too much cheese.
I feel
Entervex says, interesting piece that happened yesterday. Clausius, who may or may not be that guy who was on here
no,
earlier,
it's absolutely not that guy from earlier.
was reviewing 12Q games on his stream. One sent to him at that time, and on of his in 2006, the newer 12Q seemed way stronger than the one's 2006 Colossus game. Maybe Q ranks got stronger. Oh, absolutely, Q ranks could have gotten stronger. They don't exist by themselves. All of these things only exist in relation to others. This is a matter of, relativity. It's all comparative. And so what determines a Q rank determines also the Don ranking and everything else. They're all related. Remember, it's that whole handicap system. Yes, I know C complex is not Clausius. I just think that's hilarious. I'm sorry. But yeah, the number of handicap stones required to have a 50-50 chance between one person and one rank below him determines the rest of the rating system almost entirely. So that can absolutely vary. I don't know if 2006 versus 2017 varies significantly, but it very well might. And that's all it relies on is the overall strength. And that can vary from coast to coast, from country to country. And my lady person says, when you coming home, not that you need to rush.
It's a good lady person.
What does that mean? Does that mean I do need to rush?
She added the don't need to rush, so you get to overthink that one.
I get to overthink that one.
You're welcome.
Oh, crap.
You might have overstayed your welcome. But not on my end.
So if I go to the YouTube, I might find the answer.
Of what?
Have I overstayed my welcome?
No, when you coming home?
Wait, what? I don't understand.
Neither do I. That's why I'm going to YouTube for answers.
So what the hell?
AI was terrible 11 years ago. Yeah, AI started appearing in Go, and it was terrible, but it's gotten a lot better now. As I've mentioned probably 74 times before, that Zenith Go engine it plays almost naturally. It feels like a proper, well thought out game against another person, specifically against another person at around 6 to 7 Q ranking in Youngsang if you set it to the 5Q engine. And so I'm assuming it feels similarly well up until about 3 dawn. It's just a beautiful engine.
I'm so sorry, David.
For what?
You waited all that time, and I've already lost this game.
We should not be so hard on ourselves.
What?
It's really hard to kill stuff.
It is really hard to kill stuff, but you have Liberatos, sir. And I think Liberatos are good.
Okay, so I sent an Ozzy Osbourne song, says, Mama, I'm coming home. And then I said, or I could wait until they finish. And she replied, wait until they finish, exclamation mark. Just let me know when, and I'll head home then too. Oh, she's also out.
She's still at the
casino.
casino.
Winning millions of dollars.
Yeah, I don't like my move. I should have just...
Once you've gotten 100K in winnings,
Only then may you head home.
clicks.
Only then are you allowed to come home.
Should have been cleaner.
So what's the most chat has ever received in winnings from a casino if you've gone to one? Kelly was telling me, Kelly's my girlfriend, she was telling me that one time she went to the casino, they gave her, because she walked in the door, $500 worth of casino credit to just play with their money, and she won $5,000 off of that. And so I assume that she'll win every time she goes, and that it's that simple. and I'm assuming that everybody wins that much at the casino. Myself, I can't bear to risk it. I just play completely free local casino games if I want to. Oh gosh, there's a few apps that are coin free. You just have it and you're done, and it's a straightforward, exactly the same as you find a casino slot machine. I'm not going to give anybody money. I just want to have fun. Looking for patterns. Whose turn is it?
Mine.
Black's turn.
I find it really difficult to even imagine a way out of this.
I'm seeing a lot of nice possibilities. There's some crazy games on Tie Games with like 100,000 games. It's crazy. Yeah, some of those I've heard may actually be Go clubs where they just have an open computer.
I've seen some of
And anyone goes up and they play, which is why sometimes it may seem like you're playing against someone who's ranked one way but plays a different way. And it's not necessarily that they're sandbagging or reverse sandbagging, if that's a thing. But it's just a Go club, and they're renting out the computer with a generic login. Or there's some crazy masters who have played 500,000 games online, and I mean, you never know. But that's the story that I've heard, and it seems to make a lot of sense.
That they're crazy masters?
No, that it's a Go club renting out a computer with a pre-logged-in system.
Yep.
So I have to play that move, right?
My brother was in Korea for a couple of years at a fort whose name I do not know, but right outside the North Gate is an excellent Go club, and I don't know if he went to play at all. I hope that he did, because it's either that or PlayStation 4, and you know, I mean, the amount of growth you can achieve on the one versus the other, he's aware of the difference. I don't know if he did though, but it would have been awesome. He is, though, I mentioned earlier, the backgammon thing, extremely interested. Within a week of my introducing him to backgammon, he had played, he said, over 800 games online against other players, and so that really caught his attention, where Go had not, and he'd not played any games outside of what I played with him.
Black has to play something like this. This is difficult because Black is damaging its other group, but
You
you need to have the chance. You need a chance of an
to live inside,
Yeah, and I still don't know if I can kill it. It's really hard to kill stuff.
It is at times extremely hard to kill stuff.
This is doubly painful because now White has a guaranteed eye here, and White already had an eye here. So, because of this, White's group is alive. Now again, Black had cutting points here, right? So I mean, White wasn't really concerned about that, but he might have been able to get a few more forcing moves, right? Which is what you need to make the group work. I think this is a really great turning point, though, because Black has, I think, two options here. Well, the next move, there's only one next move, but after that move, Black can either start to continue to try to live, which, and if you can see a way, then you should do that. But if you can't see a way to live, then this is a good time to start cutting off the leg that's broken. find a way to get some amount of thickness or something in exchange for the dead group, even if it's big.
Even if it's what?
Even if it's big. In fact, two of my last 4 games on Tigan, were games where I lost something big because of a dumb mistake that should have been game over, but just good sacrificing. I was able to be very close to the end. 1.5 should not have happened, but even here, I would not yet resign. I would still play, even if it's dead. And so, yeah. This sort of exchange, though, it's important to see how it can help you, right?
Yeah.
So this exchange does not get you an eye.
I know.
Okay.
Now this one. And now this one.
And so why did black exchange these 2 moves?
So I could get this stuff, like this thing
All
facing
this,
the outside.
all this would have happened even without this exchange.
Oh, okay.
This does make white, looks like white has bad shape, but it's really not, because white's connected.
I just wanted to get this one more move because...
But you would have gotten this even without this exchange.
With the possibility of a cut.
Again, it's really hard to cut here. I don't really see how you would do it, but maybe there's a co-threat, right? Whereas this...
Well, I was also thinking, well, like this one, there's also just a cut here that just...
Yeah, there might have been a cut for black.
So...
And so, yeah, if you can live in here with this space, then okay, that makes sense.
But no, yeah, I was thinking of just bailing anyways.
Yeah, it's interesting if white had made some errors here, right? If white had connected here instead, maybe there is a way to try to... Well, I don't know. Actually, that wouldn't have done it. But,
well, that's why this was the most compelling move.
But this was...
to begin with.
But again, black lost quite a bit, but we remember that black was already in a bad situation here to begin with, and black has stabilized his group here, so a good reason to keep fighting. If you're playing someone your own level, this is... I would keep fighting.
How do I make up for that loss?
So, Alex, I hate to distract you, but is 1,766 views, is that in total or for this view, this video?
In total.
Okay.
And so when you're like this and you're kind of behind, you do have to kind of come up with a plan. So first, where are the big places to play on the board? Like just points-wise, the big spaces. I think we can say that there are... I see 3 that are just seem pretty big.
Here?
So yeah, something over there. Because white, there might be, maybe you can invade to the 3/3. Maybe not though.
White can invade down here.
Or you can play here. And so this is all one area, right? So,
including these 2 black stones.
yeah, so we can call this all one area.
Well, there's the center.
The 4 things to remember in Young Sang, it was check for a base, initiative, territory, and points. Territory and points feel the same, so it's probably 1 base. I don't remember, but base, initiative, and territory are 3 of the 4 primary things. So we know that this group is potentially lacking a base.
And it's true. And white would really love to play here. So we know this is a big area. And there are multiple ways.
Yeah.
I mean, you even going into the corner can have an indirect effect on this area.
But
there's not too many places for
I don't
initiative
know how
except
many
for
points are going to appear in the center.
And so the center is an area too, maybe. But there's one other place that's just like guaranteed big right now. It's a place you want to play, right? Do you see?
Absolutely. Here?
Yeah. So something in this corner, right?
Yeah.
Because this is also a very large area.
My first instinct is this.
But before we play,
But that was.
So the next thing is you can't just play big points though.
Yeah.
Unless you can get them all. If you can get all the big points, okay, maybe, and then play a good in game. You also need maybe something to attack, right? And so, since all of your groups are pretty strong, right, more or less, except for the dead one, that means that you get to attack.
So this one.
So this one. I don't have 2 eyes now. I have strong shape. It's true. And I will get a free move down here, right? And there's an open space here. So maybe don't attack to kill, but maybe by threatening to attack, right, you can start taking more of those big points and maybe even develop your center, right, that you were talking about before. So now you have a plan, right? The plan is attack the white stones, try to get at least two of, well, at least try to get both of these big areas, right? Get to these areas first. And then also try to get some stones around the center. So it's difficult, right? You're behind, so it has to be difficult. But that's the strategy.
Okay. So would...
I think there's one move that like starts that off pretty well. Or maybe two, I guess. Yeah, I guess two. Two directions. And even if you lose, it's not bad to lose a game where you caught up, right? And that's really nice. This is a great place to play.
Gobaduk is claimed winner, by the way.
No. We already mentioned Gobaduk. Gobaduk!
Yeah. But the question is what time it is.
Well, no, I mean, you guys can do this some other time.
Yeah.
You get to play this guy sometime.
Yeah, if you want.
You get to play David sometime. For reals. This is the only time... So he says this all the time, but today he's actually going to get, like, sometime he's actually going to get it because of today. We have somebody who's...
Oh, he's definitely worthy.
Who's strong enough, yeah.
David is amazing.
Not amazing.
He's the strongest guy. He'll take down all the pros.
It's not true. Okay, so this is nice, right? Because now you're developing your territory, so you've made yourself safe, you're attacking my group, and I have to run somewhere.
Easily 9p.
He's got a t-shirt at home that says Lisei Doll, colon,
like 12p.
the weak stone. Lisei Doll, the weak stone.
Oh yeah, Lisei plays very, very weakly compared to David.
And so maybe white just plays a boring move like this. And so black has already gotten one of those areas for free. So then where does black go next? Here would be good to count to see if you can win just by taking this point. Right, because if you can just take this point and the game's okay.
I can't
you
because I
get
have
1,
so
2.
many dead stones.
But that's an assumption, right?
And, well, no, because this area is large, and secondly, I have lost, however, I've lost 9... 13 stones. If we double that up.
Gobaduk says that he would usually get 3 stones against a 9p. So,
That's fine.
So, yeah, you're behind, and so you can't play here. But it's actually, again, maybe it's only 10, 15 points. So I would not let the size of the group that you lost deter you.
How badly did that game against Li Cheng Ho go again?
It was really bad. You got wrecked.
Yes, he is 9p because of tradition, the real rank unknown. Real rank AGA unknown for sure. But how would you place yourself within EGF? Do you know?
Either here or here.
Okay. So even though we discussed
or you could
that,
attach or something like this, but you have to do something in this.
This might not necessarily help my situation with the whole. Okay.
But again, so this one,
Alright.
right? We're saying this is Sente, and so if you're gonna play over here,
Then I can still play.
then play like this, right? But the question is this enough points for you to win the game?
Don't believe so.
And you've made white kind of solid here. So again, I don't think it's black has to find something, right? And so black can't just black can't just back away and be super chill now, unless you counted and think you can win. Because black also has this potential in the middle. Maybe you have a plan.
Does this mean that I still have to come after this group then?
So if you can find a way to take points while attacking, certainly.
Where is that Firestone? It's sort of in the middle of 4th places.
In Gobaduk, I don't know if I could give you any stones if you play give 3 stones to a 9p. Maybe you should.
In
give
that
me
case,
stones.
well, why not just right here in a double elephant? Is that not a possible thing? To just make it all worth 0?
White does not have many points here. So yeah, this is cool, right? Black is looking at this side, and so maybe even this move becomes useful, because maybe you can attach or something like this and build something.
Would it not be better to try that part first before jumping out towards the middle of the board? To actually try to lay on to see how responses go.
Well, so the thing is that, well, maybe, yeah, why not? White's almost certainly going to respond, right? Because I wanna stay strong. I don't wanna give him a chance to turn this game around. And if black gets another stone around here, then I'll be surrounded maybe. And so why risk that? So again, this feels like a free move to me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hydrat says, "Go go scat! I believe in you."
You shouldn't. Don't do it.
I've believed in him. It took a couple years, but then he surpassed me. It can happen. Hey, Fibbucks Shake. Thank you, sir, for appreciating my wonderfulness.
Matt, your internet famous.
I have reason to believe that may be my cousin. I don't know. It may also be Tyler. But either way, they speak the truth.
Who the hell's Tyler?
My friend Tyler. He's Canadian.
Okay.
You wouldn't understand.
So is Hydra.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hydrid, Canadian. Not cousin. $5. Shit.
Can I cut or should I honor?
That name, though. Canada's awesome. They got that wonderfulness all over the place.
That wonderfulness. Cutter, honey, cutter, honey, cutter.
See, L8 looks scary to me as white. That's why I'm bad, I'm guess, says Hydrud.
Where is L8?
L8. KL8.
Okay.
Wait, no, this one. L8.
Oh, so you played the scary move. Congratulations. Yes, cut first, think after. It's excellent advice. It's almost always the best move.
I was thinking, I consider the high first.
Yeah, so one of the first lectures I encountered within Young Sang was to never Atari, because you don't know which side is the correct side to Atari. And I suppose that's very similar to never cut, because you don't know if you want to cut or play on the opposite side of the potential cut. Because once you play the one, you might as well be eliminating the other, and it could be very dangerous. You don't know yet which one it is, so you gotta find out by exploring other moves. So white is behind?
No, it's black that cut. Anyways. And I agree very much with you. Go about it. Cut, think after.
That's because Go Baduk is the most amazing Go player in the world, and you need to give them a game.
Yeah, I think Go Baduk, maybe you would give me 2 stones or 3 stones. Again, if you give 9 Ps 3 stones, that means you're strong. Or if they give you 3 stones.
They didn't mention whether or not they win. They just said they give that many. But yeah, no. Just speaking of internet famous, there's no one more internet famous than Go Baduk.
What the hell am I? Oh my god! I was reading out sequences starting as white. Oh my god!
Cut first, cut after.
All right.
No thinking ever. Just cut and cut. Well, cuts come from touching stones, and you don't want to Tanuki touching moves. So a cut suggests a follow-up. So it's almost always Sente, right?
Yes.
Ah. Extend instead of cutting. Extend instead of Atari. Yes, I would agree with that. Makes it all kinds of scary, but that definitely looks more stable. Otherwise, you just invert the shape as it stands. That's right, Alex. I believe that you can win.
I read this wrong, I think. Pretty sure I did.
1, 2. Atari after a cut is when you think you can capture, or if you need the forcing moves on the weak side to live. Otherwise, it just helps your opponent. Yeah. I hate how Dan's plays, says Hydrid. They play a move, and I feel like I have to respond to it, but then they get more out of it than I do somehow. Yes. It's because they anticipated your move when they made the move, perhaps. Or maybe it was simply just such a great move that it doesn't matter where you play. The Dons are so much stronger than SDKs. It's a scary relationship.
It's probably better just to jump out. I have no clue why I'm doing this, so... Just to begin with, should have just jumped out. This is a bad exchange at the bottom. Anyways. What does it matter? It's 1 a.m.
Save forcing moves until they help your shape. Otherwise, the forcing move is pointless and should be saved. Yes, I did that like 37 times in the last game that I played against Alex here. So many times I played so-called forcing moves unnecessarily.
I'm sorry, what was the result?
Avoiding the puddle just went live on Twitch.
Response to that move? David?
I didn't understand it at first.
I'm sorry.
It's excellent advice, Gobaduk. You should be finding the minimum number of moves to achieve a goal and save the rest for when it's needed. Yeah, it's end game type thingies when you just count out the actual value of any given move. That certainly will make a difference if you can read ahead far enough as to which ones are the most important to play now and which ones to wait for later. And I think we're probably close enough for that to be a real type of thing. That's when Tawari becomes useful. That is unfortunately still a bit beyond my level. Can you speak to Tawari?
Not yet. Sorry.
Play a sequence you like and then start picking out the non-needed moves from the sequence. Yeah, like 1, 2, 3 reading in the standard Young Sang style. So much. One of the things we did quite often in Young Sang is the actual endgame type things, like calculating precisely how many points a move is worth. We'd have like 10 positions on the board presented, and we'd be asked to provide them in the order of most points to least points, and then we would discuss how and why everything is worth exactly what it's worth. And it was a very good practice to perform. So I recommend that certainly if you want to get stronger. Most games that we played in Young Sang were within the number of points that can be won in the end game if you can play the end game. And it seems like most people don't do the end game simply because they're not strong enough. But one of the easiest things to learn, aside from counting and calculating the number of points each move is worth is to realize when it is time to start playing the endgame moves, when to take that diagonal on the third or second line, because whoever does that first will almost always win, and that's an important thing to consider.
Is it getting close to the resigning time?
Yeah, Hane on the second line is worth 14
Is it getting close to the
points.
resigning time yet?
I should.
Because I wasn't able to grow this, because you're going to cut through this either way from either here or here. And I could, I guess, hop in here, but then I have this weakness behind. And I'm not sure that I'll get to be able to play here first.
So, this is a good time to count. Number one, you know, this stone is not dead, I don't think. So I don't think your attack on my white group is finished, though I have a plan to pull it out, so that helps. But I don't know, I would not lose heart just quite yet. And keep in mind, right, that if black blocks here, sure, white can push in here, but white does have to come back and connect. So black can take some points here. You have gained some points in the center if you can play this move. And at the very least, it means that you'll probably get, again, both of these moves.
I will get both?
Well, because remember, this move is almost center, right? It's very big if I let you take here.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, this is also
but
huge.
will the sequence also?
But anyways, I would say a few more moves.
Hydrad, I believe you are my mortal enemy.
What?
I do well in the opening, and at first I can do pretty well with practical moves in the mid
You have
game.
to keep attacking.
But then I start to fall behind, and I completely lose in the end game, and my groups, which may or may not be alive, are all dead because I cannot do life and death. So we'd probably have very nice games, and you would win all of them.
Because the problem is that if you play here, I might just take this stone, right? And then, okay, give you this, give you that, and then I destroy your territory in the center.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming the hint is that I should extend the stone, but I don't think it works.
Also, I can't play the ladder because there isn't one. So I might go this way. I mean, I could just run out this way, but I don't want to. So it's probably better to just run out that way.
What's up?
Nothing.
It's awkward for white, really awkward, actually. But still, black got what he wanted.
Not even sure about what I want.
So let's say white plays here. It's a little bit slow.
Can I play this?
If it works.
Cut all the way. Atari with a side serving of Atari, says M.
So I have a discussion with with Ben about this. Should I play here or should I play here?
Well, are you planning to do co or are you trying to live?
Trying to live. I should connect solidly.
So, I don't know in this situation. generally speaking, this move on an well, when I have the lower enclosure, you should just play this one. But I think, but with like a high enclosure or something, this move lets you extend one line farther, but you lose the forcing move here, so it's a toss-up. So it's whatever you prefer. Here, I don't know. But again, maybe playing, I don't know, I really don't.
Ranks. White is approximately, what is it, 7 Dan Taigem?
No, 6 or 7 Dan Taigem.
6 or 7 Dan Taigem.
40
Black is 40 Q. I believe black to be approximately, let's say, 8 to 4 Q AGA.
Even though the AGA says that I'm said that I'm 40Q.
They did acknowledge your 40Q ranking, and I definitely respect them for their, you know.
Shit, that one doesn't work.
Yeah, 40Q. Black has been 40Q for approximately 5 years now.
5 years?
I believe 5 years is the time frame, isn't it?
No, it's not, dude. I've only been playing for like 2 years.
For 2? No, you've been playing. I haven't been playing for about 2 years.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, so I started in 2015, actually. Devin sent me a
That sounds
message,
right.
and it's 2017.
Oh, well, I guess you're right then. So it feels like 5 years.
I'm sorry.
A lot's been going on since then. No, he's great. He's great. 40Q equals you lick the lead Yunzi stones. That's about your rank.
It's pretty rough.
Yes.
When you lick the Yangtze stones.
He's grown a lot during that time. I played him early on when I was approximately 5Q, and he was definitely about 40Q at that time. But no longer. This kid is easily SDK, I think.
So I instinctively played this, and I want to say because of the Sumego that you gave me.
Cool. I'm glad. So anyways.
Because that shape just felt like a problem from there.
Gobuduk says, by the way, that you are similar ranks.
Cool.
You definitely need to get it on.
I don't know.
Oh, whoa!
I'm certain he could beat me if
whoa.
he can give a 9 done for 3 stones. If that's the right for them, I'm certain he would win.
I mean, they're internet famous. I don't know if they're gods or anything.
It's not a gods or anything sort of thing. It's just.
I mean, it may be. You don't know until you play
just
them.
really strong.
Yeah, that'll do.
So, black took the corner, but I don't know if it was good for black.
I would tune into a game of UV.
I knew that you were gonna get. I said that you were gonna get this in anyways. So.
But if black,
And since that's resolved, I either have to play something over here or start talking about this.
well, yeah, it's. I mean, this move is cool if you can attack my group, right?
What move is cool?
This invasion, right? So, like, if you could find some way to put some pressure on my white group, maybe this could be Sente. And maybe it's already Sente. But I'd have to agree with you.
So then I'd have to play up here.
If you think it's the biggest thing on the board.
I'm still playing stuff out until you tell me that it's time to resolve.
Well, have you counted recently?
No.
Count the board, dude.
Can't count higher than 6.
I can't count higher than 5. That means you're stronger than me.
But you're not playing.
Oh.
Does have a point.
Oh, I'm sorry, Zealousy. Yes. It is an addiction. I don't mean to fill up your screen. However, it has kept me off of tobacco since 2009, so I mean, that's fantastic. I wish I could quit this as well, but
You just gotta try, dude.
it's not a. I have tried. It's not a this versus nothing. It's a this versus tobacco. So I count myself as winning.
What was it?
But I can at least keep it away from the
A
camera.
couple steps.
I believe Badabaduk quit the vaping. We witnessed his transition from tobacco because by the time he started streaming again, he was already vaping, and then apparently he stopped. So
Cool.
I believe in you, Matt.
I've not been able to quit, nor have I wanted to.
Now we see how
Okay.
this push here becomes really useful, right? Because there are quite a few. I mean, these are white points, right? That should not be here. And what actually had some real awkward problems with its shape. The big lesson here is don't give up, because pushing through into white shape here would have made a big difference, right? You could still threaten this group a little bit. You were able to take the corner, right? And again, I think that this game was one where you could fight, right?
I don't know about now, though. I don't think any more moves in the corner would help me, though. Let's see.
Hoodor is now following you on Twitch.
Thank you very much. So...
So it's Black's turn, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we count? So I would even say there's only one move, right? And you already know where it is. Maybe there are two, actually. I don't know. But there's one place that certainly looks big. So that's big, yeah. But why not the move that... so this isn't Sente, right?
Yeah.
The other move isn't really Sente either, but you got this one exchange, and white kind of backed off, even though white's looking to mess with your Hachi. But also you have this move over here, right?
Oh.
And if black takes this move, again, the points are not as far apart as you might think.
Okay.
But anyways, it's black's turn. Yeah. Because even though white has this territory here, this is all white has.
Yeah.
And if black can harass white's group, then this could be maybe even be Sente, right?
Harass white's group.
So it doesn't mean you have to harass white's group immediately, right? But if you're convinced that after this move, you could, for example, pull out this stone, or you could get some free moves down here. This is a move that isn't just worth this here, right? If this move lets you get this for free, and then lets you get some moves over here for free, this can be a really big move, right? If
Yeah.
it works. So
I have no idea, though. Their group just seems so fine, though. To me, at least.
From my perspective as a weaker player, I see that working for white even if black were to go here. So I would look for like this move instead, which would pull it, which would pull it back a little farther, but would ensure a bit stronger result.
also black, if black plays here, black needs to play this, because the problem, and black really black should play here if black thinks black can harass, because when you play here, yeah, you're gonna pull out this stone, right? But I'm also going to make eye shape and break into your space. And
But I don't think I can harass.
And so if that's the case, play somewhere else. But this is the biggest move in this area, right?
Okay.
And these harassing moves are only worth something. Well, I don't know, but a stronger player could probably say it better. But it's really this or play somewhere else. But this is huge, right? I mean, even locally, right? This is worth like 15 points. I mean, maybe.
So if white were to follow up with like here,
There's no need to be concerned, right? Because white has to come back and connect, and so black still makes a lot of points.
So you're telling me to just play here then?
If you think, well, yeah, I'm basically.
Yeah, because
So there, I mean, there's Aji here, and then there's this area. These are the two places. It's also because I'm not happy about my group, so I feel like I want to play that one.
oh, so it's not because of me being tired and the headache. It's because of Matt's smoke that the clarity in the room has changed a little bit.
I apologize completely. I don't see any paper.
So you played where? Oh, I'm sorry.
He took the move that you were going to play.
I see.
But between these two moves, this one is way bigger.
It's the biggest because it threatens white's group, and it's also the biggest just raw points wise, says Gobaduk.
Yep.
Yeah, an ignored opening like that has won me quite a few games because it's impossible to stop and it just continues to bleed. Usually it's more effective pointing in the other direction and you just eat into someone's already defined otherwise area. And it just ruins the game. It turns it from a rather close game to a game that you win by 100 points simply because you can't stop it.
Good time to Tanuki. But the biggest place on the board is where?
Here.
So, we'll play.
I don't know how to handle that area.
So around this area, right, just the first thing that comes to my mind, Aji-wise, inside your space, are a couple moves. This is a move that I just think is cool. I don't know if it even works, but sometimes there's Aji here. Sometimes there's Aji here, right? Because this is Joseki shape. And maybe there's a way to attach
I
around
was
here and
wondering
cause
if
issues.
playing a move like this would fix my.
So it's not
help.
Sente.
Okay, so well, I didn't really see any Sente moves.
So
around there,
if you don't think the Aji is a problem, then the place to play right would be just to extend because you take the corner.
okay,
If you do think the Aji is a problem,
yes, should
then you
connect
should be
solidly?
looking for another move around here. So maybe here, if you think this solves all of your Aji problems, or maybe this, if you're really concerned about your problems. And even if you're super, really afraid, you could do something like this. But this seems really weak. So yeah, it just depends how much Aji do you think you have. And if you think that white's all smoke, you should play here. And also if you're behind, which is why it's really important to count now, you should play maybe. So this kind of tosses it. That's cool. But again, maybe all these places where there might be Aji, it might just maybe none of it works, right? So, and maybe this solves your problems. But these are the areas to look at, I would say. attack makes a huge difference, right? It's because white chose to make this exchange here, which is why white should just jumped out. This makes this group way stronger. If we imagine these stones not here, there really is some serious invasion potential, right? If white wants, or at least maybe white could even make some points here.
Hey, Creakers, how's it going?
But with this exchange, it becomes a little black is a little stronger, but maybe they're still Achi. So. But again, this was a benefit that black gained from black's attack, also indirect benefit.
Alright. Let's go.
And
oh, where are we going?
Oldish looking banana. Particularly ripe looking banana.
I've seen much worse. I think you're alright.
Okay.
and I'm gonna play here. It's my reduction. And also, because I'm just paranoid, I want to make sure I have as much eye space as possible. Great.
Kubaduk says, when behind, play the moves that have a chance of making you win. That doesn't always mean the most honest move. Losing by 0.5 or 10.5 doesn't matter. A loss is a loss. So when behind, try to either win or lose by resign when it doesn't work.
I think that's good advice, Kubaduk. But it's also true that sometimes, you know, if you're 5 points behind, playing solidly and trying to find truly good moves can be a way to win, especially when you're in the queue, when you're at the queue level, right? When you're maybe 10 points behind or 15 points behind, it's a bit different, right? You have to be a bit more drastic.
How's our camera since Matt just kicked it?
Did I kick it?
Yeah, the main one.
But I do, in principle, I do agree with you, though.
Switch over to OBS. Black circle.
Solid play also wins lost games. So
That's not too bad. It's definitely different than it was before. That's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
all right.
You
Now
can go back if you want.
so here.
Like into here and then looking over there.
Hmm?
So at the
I'm
very
sorry, what?
least, black should have backed off here at the very least,
Okay.
instead of giving me the free moves.
So weird request says Shinoshi, but your board isn't aligned with your current horizontal markers. It's a bit off.
It's Matt's fault.
Sorry, I apparently touched
Good luck,
it.
Shinoshi. Good luck.
Good looking out.
Blame Matt for that one.
Is that fixable or is it off forever?
You can. Oh, you'd have to look at the. Oh dear.
No, it's fine. Okay, so it goes. Is this better, Shinoshi?
Oh god.
Oh my god. Alright, there you go. No, that's wrong. Alex, I need help.
Good job, Matt.
I need help.
Good job, Matt.
So, right now, what's crucial, right, is playing a good end game because there's not much else left. So, where can black play this big? And there are quite a few places, and a lot of them are Sinti. So,
Here.
why not?
Point fate.
Is there anything weird here?
If black extends instead of Hanade in the center, then extends into white center from black center, and coming in from the right would be Miyai. The Hane to get one extra point in the center, let white block that side in Sente. Sometimes
This move
less
here.
is
Black should have
more.
backed off, and
Mhm.
you've been much happier.
I've never actually tried to adjust a camera on a top board like this before. It was quite the experience, and it was terrifying, and I hope I never have to do such a thing again.
Try aiming it through a hole. Because then you get absolutely no leeway.
Miyai. A Miyai. Am I saying that wrong?
I think most people say just me.
Miyai? Ah, I've heard it Miyai. Miyai. It's Miyai, Miyai, Miyai. I'm not entirely certain. I'm fairly sure, though, that a Miyai is a Miyai. It's
Yeah.
just that my pronunciation is horrible.
Where'd you go? Looks good to me.
Just in case, yeah, it means that it works either way. So basically, you have 2 points, and if white takes one, black should take the other. And if white takes the other one, black should take the first. And both are equivalent. But also, I'm possibly pronouncing them incorrectly. Miyai or Miyai? How do you pronounce it?
I don't know anything.
You know nothing. The 9-down professional here doesn't know
There
anything.
are no 9-down professionals here.
It's all relative, man.
That is not true.
By the way, I have not kept up on my death cult thing, whatever that is. Am I in trouble?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crap. I was in a move.
Do you have a song prepared?
Like I was moving.
Do you have a song prepared?
From one apartment to another.
Do you have a song prepared?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what you're gonna sing?
Yes.
And do you know where to sing it?
Where do I sing it? Do I not sing it here?
I guess here might work. I guess here will work.
How much of it?
All the way.
All the way. What if I don't know it all?
You can look up lyrics while singing it.
So you want the whole thing? Oof.
It's not for me. It's not me. I don't make the rules.
In that case, I believe yes, the 9P of this room. I do believe that I did complete all of my tasks.
You did?
Oh yes.
Good job.
Good. Yay.
Oh, you're lying.
No.
Yes.
So I see maybe one move, maybe two, probably maybe one move that seems pretty big compared to everything else. Because it's pretty close to double sente.
Pretty close to double sente.
I see even two moves that are good. So.
I'm seeing a couple that work. I don't know if they're good, but they work.
If they work, doesn't that mean it's good inherently?
Well, it depends on all the other moves on the board, really.
This is a bad move?
Move seems nice to me. Why not?
I was thinking about in here.
So the cut doesn't work because white can just respond.
Oh, just go there and
or
you're
even
fine.
play here if he wants. If he was really
Well,
afraid.
there I was thinking you get some extra things, but no, I'm sorry. I was thinking there.
But I think
And
even
then-
bigger than here is probably playing here. Seems really big.
Oh. Yes. Yes. For sure.
Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this Atari is... If black extends here, white should respond somehow, right?
Yeah.
I don't like this. I'd
So
probably
that's
just
the bigger
respond
one?
directly. Right, why not? And
So
then
that's the
black
bigger
can play
one.
here. Why not? Because black can't lose this stone. Maybe you can. I guess you can, but it would be painful.
It just sucks. So you're saying that my only choice is to connect then?
But maybe your other Sente moves you should play first. Well, I don't know. It was very difficult. But if you do it wrong, you'll lose a lot of points. So.
If you
Wait,
fail,
so-
you'll fail big.
There.
I have that confidence at least.
And if you have a lot of co-threats, you could even play the co.
Oh.
Could you play the
crap?
What?
Yeah, I think so.
Could I play the co? Could I just walk out of the apartment and not play the co?
I thought
Well,
I was
the rest is up to you guys.
But Atari, yeah. If that group of three in the center were stable,
But I don't know if you have enough co-threats to play co.
I see lots of walking around.
This is a hard one to ignore. So let's find out if white takes. No, I shouldn't do that.
So I believe that move, that connect move, is one that I would have been yelled at for. Why are we connecting? How many points is it worth to connect?
So it's a lot, because
If white goes there and actually
Okay.
captures that stone,
black has to play here, or
yeah,
else black loses the stones.
yeah.
Then white gets to capture here and Sente also.
So how many points is that worth?
That's a good question.
Versus how many other points could you get elsewhere? So the question is, should you respond there or not? And I think the answer is probably no.
2, 4, 6. Six points.
Call me
Yes, I
Burrito. Hello, you're the guy that tuned into my ghost stream. Hey, Alex. You tuned in to Call Me Burrito's ghost stream.
Hello, Burrito. Oh, I remember Burrito. Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
6
Yeah,
points.
yeah.
I don't know, because this would have been, I think, 6 points, right, in Sente? And so...
Okay. So I'm really tired. I have a headache.
Oh, the game's over.
My blood sugar is probably really low, which is the reason why I ate a banana, because I was feeling like really shitty. Jacob, right?
Call me Burrito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Jacob?
Game's not over.
Jacob. I know. That's why I'm still playing.
Whew.
That's why I'm still playing. I wasn't calling it
I was
quits.
afraid for a second there.
No, I would never do that.
Stopped.
No, if my
it was
appendix burst, I would be on this floor still playing moves on the board.
Call me Burrito.
Because
confirms
you waited.
yes.
Because you waited so long to get a game in. Can I play here?
You can.
Okay.
Call me Burrito confirms yes.
Cool. Alright. Yeah, if my appendix burst, I would still be on the floor playing moves. And Matt would have to be calling 911.
No, I'd wait till the game's over. You don't want to have them interrupt anything.
God damn it. That's so upsetting. Oh.
Tommy Burrito asks, how's it going?
How do you think it's going, dude?
Alex is falling apart. It's well past his bedtime.
It's not even that. I am not a healthy individual.
Oh.
This move was big.
My mom would actually kill me if she found out I hadn't been eating in 7 hours. So I no longer do things that I'm supposed to do. Okay.
Let's chill.
I believe Matt calls that wabi sabi.
Wabi sabi, as I understand it, the impermanence.
Is the way that Japanese he describes the play of Japanese people.
The play of Japanese.
Wabi sabi is reflected in their stones.
The impermanent nature of things. So
this is a mistake.
an imbalance.
This is really painful.
It's a matter of appreciating the imbalance of things.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And this
man.
is because you have the stone here now.
This is too painful for black. Black plays here.
Yeah.
Um.
It's because you have the stone here now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And what else looks big?
So Ben told me that he was assuming that, or he said that he might have been able to come today, but early, like at 7 o'clock, and I said okay. But when he sent me a message saying that something came up at work, I was like, oh thank God, and I like napped in bed for like
No, it's a powerful thing to do.
15 minutes. Well, because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it through the night at all. Because none of the horribleness of today has gone away. What the hell?
Where is the empty triangle?
Huh? Where's the what?
Go Baduk. Where is the empty triangle?
Go Baduk. Imperfection is beauty, but don't play empty triangles.
Oh, maybe this one.
Yes.
Oh, I guess that's an empty triangle. Okay, I found it.
That's a good general rule.
The power
Imperfection
triangle?
is beauty. That's wabi sabi, but don't play empty triangles. The imperfection I love on the Goban is more than just the simple shapes, the arrangements of the stones themselves, but a difference with the size of the individual stones where they feel bunched up in certain areas simply because they're too large to fit on the board, I think is gorgeous. And I've only seen that with one brand of stones, and that's the Goishi.
The Goshi.
The Goshi.
The Goshi.
The Goshi. Kuroki Goshi. I don't know what the name is.
Oh my God.
But their slate and shell stones are gorgeous, and they don't fit on the board, and I love them for it.
That's stupid. Alright.
So the gate guard told me he would be here through midnight, so I don't need a pass. But it's now like 1:30.
So when I came in, there was nobody at the gate, so I didn't get a pass. So I have no clue about my car.
Okay.
But if we got towed, we got towed together.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
God, I haven't been towed on campus in like 20 years.
I've never been towed until tonight.
There's always a first.
Freaking shamrock towing.
I didn't think about that. Good call. Go Baduk.
There's 4 points a lot now.
Whoops, I lost my pass. Yeah,
Have you
whoops, I
ever
lost
sent
my
emails?
pass. Yeah, well, they were like, whoops, I lost your car. So here's where you can go and ask them about it.
That's rough. This move is worth 1 point.
Damn it all.
In reverse sente, so it's 2 points.
I don't.
Why not? Because the other one's sente for white, so that makes sense.
Very nice. You know, that almost looks symmetrical. Yeah, I like it.
My descent doesn't help matters though, right? So. My descent doesn't help matters though, right?
Well, if white responds here, then...
No, I'm saying if I descend now.
Oh,
So black's around 60 and white's around 80? Yeah, sounds about right.
Does that mean that I should resign then? If the gap is that high?
yeah, if you feel there's nothing left to learn, good time to resign.
Or if you feel that you can pick up 20 points, then, I mean...
It's 20.
Oh.
15. With Comey, I guess.
Oh, there's so much potential.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the proper endgame sequence, but maybe you could run through it?
No, I don't think it's all that necessary. So
By not that necessary, I assume you mean that there's not enough to make a difference?
no, it's not. So I think, but black did a good job fighting back.
How
right?
much is the
By
center
that,
capture
by,
worth?
by that I just meant the
Center capture.
by that I just meant the
Is center
the most
capture
optimistic.
referring just to simply this white stone
No,
here?
he's talking about
I think he's talking about these guys,
Oh, those?
which is the reason why did I even ask that out loud? What is 4 points worth?
So it's what? It's like
4 points is worth about 4 points.
No, I mean in
5.5
terms of
points in Gote.
in terms of what the relationship to the rest.
I think it's like 5.5 in Gote, maybe. That sounds right. Or maybe it's 5 in Gote, because black doesn't capture back immediately if white takes it, and but later black can take back the 1 stone, which means that white. Yeah, it's kind of hard to count. That's a good one.
That's fairly straightforward to count.
No, because so if white captures, right?
So white captures 6 point. Is
White
the
gets
immediate
3
capture.
points.
3 point.
And then has a potential 50% chance
for 2.
50% chance to close here
Yeah.
Yes.
and have a total of 5.
Which is 4.
And then there's a 50% chance that black captures here,
Yep.
takes 1 stone,
So it's a quarter.
but then there's a 50% chance after that white plays here,
Uh-huh.
and a
And
50%
then
chance that
since
black
that-
plays there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's like
Which
what?
results
It's like 5 and a
in
4th
then
point or
the
something.
quarter below.
So I think it's 5 and a fourth point, because then again, there's a 50% chance that if white plays here, it's hard to count. It's really hard to count.
It's safe to say it's 5 to 6 points.
Okay, yeah, but that's cheating.
It's cheating. I mean, it depends how close the game is. You have to count the rest of the board before that's cheating.
But Go Badu, great question. If you have the exact answer, I would love to hear it.
There is absolutely an exact answer.
There is. We've done all the steps. It's just...
It's worth looking at this board, taking a capture of it, and figuring out all of the places that you have endgame points potential. Where can everything come out? And then run through the math, figure it out, what's actually worth what, and where are all the points. Do it in order of most points to least, and then you win the game, I guess.
I think that would be a good exercise if you're like a Don level player. If not, just get a book on Endgame and do that instead. I think that would be a better use of your time.
This was the exercise once a month from Young Sang for everyone from about 14Q up to 6 Dan.
Well, Incheon is a better teacher than me, so...
but also we would then discuss it, and we'd bring our answers, and he'd tell us why we're wrong, and he'd say, all right, so who got this one and this one? All right, now here's why you messed up. And so,
but I would say that also maybe it's because people won't do in-game problems. Because I feel like if you spent that same amount of time just like doing an in-game book, you would like gain a stone and be stronger in a game.
What I learned as an extremely low-level player, I probably within Young Sang ranked at around that 12Q level, was a reminder to consider the end game.
Yeah.
It is just by going through and trying to count these and look at these, it heightened in my mind my reaction to similar positions in the board later. So I paid more attention when it's possible, and these things evaded me completely before. So, I mean, it's definitely worth taking a look at, even though I'm not going to gain as much as a Don player will. And the stronger Dons gain a lot more. And we had various levels throughout the board of endgame shapes and different variances within. Like you said, some are a lot more complicated than others. And yeah, so they definitely study and learn a lot more. But just being aware that this is worth 5 to 6, whereas something over here is worth so many points, whereas this is, and it makes you aware, hey, we're in the end game stage, maybe I should start playing end game moves and take control of the board.
I agree. So Alex, what were the big moments in this game? The things that, looking back from the final board, you wish you had done differently? And was there anywhere that you think that white maybe played some moves that were subpar also? Because white did play a few slack moves. And it's really important not to play slack moves when you're ahead, especially in like a tournament game or something like that, because they really do add up, right? I mean, black did catch up in this game. So
you definitely played some slack moves around here and around here, because it seemed like you were trying to give me opportunities. Let's see. I still am not entirely sure how in the future, if given another chance, I would have handled this differently.
So there's one thing that you could have done from the beginning, and if you remember,
not to play away.
Yeah, exactly. You decided to Tanuki when the situation was,
because I wasn't. I still, even at that time, wasn't sure how to handle that situation, which is the reason why, because I didn't have a solid plan. So. Yeah, and I think in the future, the good thing to remember is that if you... I'm going to wipe away some of the board. If you have 2 stones jumping like this, and you're able to cover your opponent's stones, these stones already have some eye shape, because you have this Tsuji here, right, at the very least. And remember, you're not trying to connect to the stone unless your opponent lets you, and it's really just to get shape in the center. So some free moves. The second thing is that this shape also is not as fragile as it looks, right? And you should never really be all that afraid about black poking through, because it's just so ugly and you'll get so many forcing moves on the inside because black shape will be weak. So when you're in this situation, again, if you're not trying to memorize Joseki, and I never bothered with that, so I don't think it's that important.
when you're backed away here, you're saying, I want to get Sente down here. My opponent then comes down here to say, no, you're not going to get that. So just jump up, right? Or do something else in here. And maybe white will exchange another one. Okay, you've already played here, so you're safe. Doesn't matter. White attached here. Okay, then just respond once. And if white pulls away, you've gained the initiative here. And if white continues down here, then you get to play another move. And white's, you know, it's not the end of the world. Because you still have two ways to go. You can go straight, and you can go to the side. So no matter what, you're feeling really nice. But when you invade a second time, again, it's creating complications. Maybe it's playable, but you're creating two groups to worry about. Where white already is pretty comfortable, right, with one group on the side in the corner. You know, what was the move in the corner? It was something like this attach. And so the corner is going to be strong as well. So white only has to save one group really, and you're worrying about two.
I was really more or less concerned about, let's see, because if I had, let's see, if you had attached here and I'd exchanged this, and if you had played another move, I would not have been confident enough to, you know, leave it, because...
If I play another move, you don't have to leave it. You can just, I mean, even if you play the most simple thing here, right? Yeah. And you don't have to play, I mean, there are other moves.
My another concern was perhaps you, because you had like this stuff going on here, leaning on that one stone and building more space in there.
Yeah.
So.
And this is my plan, but you have to. But the other thing is that when black plays this low move, you're saying white's gonna be able to lean in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And there are multiple ways.
I don't mean lean on this. Like I don't know exactly. So there was.
The idea is that it's a fair exchange, right? Because you get speed in exchange for being able to lead.
And you did what, this? Is that what you did?
You
in isolation?
Once,
oh, okay. And then you hopped out, and then I did this.
Yeah.
And then
repincered immediately.
Oh.
From strength.
I got it. Okay. I guess.
At the very least, I can even just jump out, right?
Yeah.
Or you can try to do something fancy, or I don't know. I don't know that much about this shape.
I was just concerned about what might happen over here, because I also once again would not be sure about how to deal with that.
Yeah.
So,
but
as opposed to not being sure about how to deal with these situations, I decided to just start start something else and hopefully figuring out something from there.
And I think the best advice I could give, given that about that, is don't start the other one. Just if you're well, I don't know. You know, I know there's this proverb that if you don't know what to do to new things.
Well, it wasn't even about that. It was just that I wasn't sure what to do, so I thought I'd do something so that I would have more. I felt like I'd have more certainty about what would happen there.
I guess that's fair. The other advice then I would have is maybe if you're not so certain about these Joseki, either learn about them or don't play them. You know, because what's the most? I mean, there's very.
So what you're saying is I should bring over those books for him to study.
And this is exactly what those books cover, actually.
Okay. Gobaduk says if you're afraid of the counter pincer when you pincer, then play a farther or higher pincer.
Yep, or just play a Joseki, you know, shift it over one, and you're comfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, if that's what's keeping you back, then you know the solution is don't play the 3/4 point. Play a different stone that you know. But this shouldn't keep you back because it's not bad shape.
I don't really confidently know any Joseki.
So I will bring over the whole board thinking volume 1.
Okay.
Unless you prefer volume 2. Volume 2 I think is the 3/4.
No, I think volume. No, one of them's low approach and one of them's high approach. So he's going to want volume 1 because I think volume 1 is low approach.
All right, so I'll bring over which one is the low approach.
Because high approach, you know, they're like 4 that people play, and you know them pretty well already, probably. So
I don't know anything.
Yep, go Baduk, it's great.
Volume 4 is high approach.
So you want volume 1.
All right,
because high approach is easy enough. I mean,
so between us, we have 2 full sets of that. However, he lives in like Atlantis, so it's hard to reach him sometimes. And
Live on the south side.
and
Nice.
yeah, but you go all over the place. I mean, at any given moment, you might be in like Korea or China or Brazil or
Never been to half those places.
Mozambique or anyways. So I'll bring over my copy if you want, because I'm still I'm studying backgammon a little bit, just to learn the openings.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. Enjoy that.
Oh my god, dude, my board is amazing.
Oh,
It is so gloriously wonderful.
Hmm.
Yes. But I will expect it back at some point. It's a temporary borrow.
Cool. Well, Alex, thank you for the game.
Yep. Thanks again. Thanks
Appreciate
for coming.
Yeah, Matt.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
Sir.
respecting. Yeah.
Sir.
Thanks for the game.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
And,
And thank all of you who joined us. Backgammon Shinoshi is freaking amazing. I had no idea what I was missing. Everyone would love it. And if Alex will ever let me, I'll bring it on sometime and we could play a little quick intro game. I already taught him a little bit how to play the game.
yeah, and thank you guys for watching.
thanks
This
for
was fun.
watching.
I've never done something like this before, so it's cool.
Oh, yeah?
Thanks for having me, Alex.
Anytime, man. Every Friday.
Cool.
I try to come as many Fridays as I can, which so far is 3 in all of history.